Trinidad and Tobago operates multi-billion-dollar liquefied natural gas facilities. These offshore rigs drive an economy rooted in global energy exports. But just miles inland, that industrial silence breaks into a high BPM, neon-drenched reality of steel pan rhythms and massive street-level masquerades. The nation functions as an energy monopoly, where economic value is extracted from high-pressure gas fields rather than the standard Caribbean resort model. For foreign workers and expats, the calculation is steep. You have to weigh highly subsidized domestic baseline costs and strategic geographical positioning against divided security zones and the premiums required to stay safe. This data matrix maps the common marketing promises against the actual logistical requirements of the territory. The standard Caribbean expectation is built for budget backpackers. It assumes a wander-anywhere utopia anchored around beach resorts, often ignoring seasonal vulnerabilities. The TNT reality is defined by sovereign wealth, strictly guarded infrastructure, and distinct pockets of complex urban risk. Operating here means adjusting your expectations. Living and working effectively in this environment requires specialized planning, because the infrastructure is built to serve heavy industry rather than leisurely exploration. The domestic structure runs on crude oil extraction and methanol-ammonia monopolies. Trinidad operates massive liquid natural gas export nodes in the Western Hemisphere. This image of massive white storage tanks illustrates why domestic fuel transits and power grids carry subsidized, economical price tags. That baseline translates to daily survival. If you consume locally manufactured goods and lean into domestic culinary fusions of East Indian and West African heritage, your everyday overhead remains low. You see this efficiency in the national street food, doubles. For $6 to $12, you get a hyper-savory meal of fried bara flatbreads loaded with curried chipkies, sweet tamarind, and local pepper sauces. But the math shifts when you apply the expat premium. Importing Western technical assets adds heavy freight taxes, and replicating a first-world security standard forces you into a much higher pricing bracket. This chart highlights the divide. Standard units in secondary zones range from $450 to $650 a month. Move into high-security diplomatic corridors of Port of Spain, and that baseline spikes to over $1,650 monthly to secure a gated compound. Your financial return on investment here hinges on your setup. Either an international petrochemical or tech package absorbs that security premium for you, or you spend your own nomad capital to maintain a safe perimeter. The premium pricing does purchase one immense logistical asset. The territory occupies a specific meteorological position in the Caribbean. This map shows Atlantic hurricane vectors. Unlike northern islands facing megastorms, Trinidad and Tobago sits safely south of the active belt. The trade-off is enduring monsoonal cloudbursts. That leaves January to May as the prime operational window, offering lower humidity. Accessing this zone is highly structured. To support industrial commerce, the state maintains an efficient maritime and air border. U.S., Canadian, UK, EU, and Indian passport holders get visa-free entry for up to 90 days. Immigration desks at Piarco International Airport demand precise adherence to entry protocol. The mandates are firm: a valid 6-month passport, a confirmed return flight itinerary, and verified local accommodation vouchers. It operates as a weatherproof fortress. It welcomes high-value international traffic, but rejects travelers who fail to secure the basic bureaucratic paperwork. Once you clear customs, you have to navigate a polarized security matrix. Moving across the two islands requires constant situational awareness. Tobago functions as the sanctuary. It remains peaceful and operates largely untouched by heavy urban pressures. The capital, Port of Spain, is a different mechanism. Severe gang syndicate drug transit loops dominate specific inner-city pockets, requiring rigorous daily situational mapping. This quadrant charts daily realities by cost and required security. A Tobago villa offers low risk at moderate cost. Street food is cheap but requires moderate awareness. Neighborhoods like Laventille are isolated no-go corridors. Professionals must adhere to safety blueprints: gated compounds, verified rideshares, and avoiding unescorted night walking. Yet inside these perimeters, the culture thrives. It is a deeply artistic environment that continues to produce world-class soca and calypso music. The local population handles the infrastructural tension through the philosophy of leaming, the practice of spending slow, unstructured time with friends. You get access to cultural depth, but your movements must remain calculated. Spontaneous wandering is replaced by secure transit between verified safe zones. Trinidad and Tobago offers industrial and geographic leverage, but successfully extracting that value depends on your professional capital and your street discipline. This pan across the historic Pitch Lake, the largest natural deposit of liquid asphalt on Earth, symbolizes the dense industrial foundation of the nation. You have to know how to navigate the heavy surface. This final matrix evaluates exactly who thrives and who fails in this specific reality. The Petro expat scores a perfect match. With a corporate package absorbing the security premiums, specialized engineers clear highly lucrative net monthly packages while living in verified fortress compounds. The tech nomad scores a caution. Leveraging advanced fiber links is effective, but you are spending your own funds to afford safe Tobago villas and locked-down transit. The budget backpacker faces a critical failure. The necessity for private transit and gated living will immediately bankrupt a standard wanderlust model. The data is clear. Does consistent geographic safety from Atlantic hurricanes justify the strict tactical protocol required to live there? Let us know your final calculation in the comments below. Next stop, Tunisia. We map the ancient ruins of Carthage, vast Saharan oasis networks, and Mediterranean tech frontiers of North Africa. Subscribe to stay real.